Parr scored almost 1,000 goals in her football career, and I play for Nosey St Helens and dream of coming close to that.
I hope one day that I will play for England and follow Lily Parr's footsteps.
We're really excited about being able to celebrate the life and achievements of Lily Parr. We've always recognised her as a pioneer of the women's game, and we inducted her into our Hall of Fame in 2002. Lily played football at a time of huge change in the women's game, when women's football really captured the public imagination. Games attracted huge crowds, and women's first international matches were being played. Like women before and after her, Lily used her tenacity, skill and passion for the game to help make sure that despite some of the negative attitudes of her time, women's football survived and went on to thrive.
As a trans woman, it's important to see pioneers like Lily Parr being celebrated for what she represents to women and girls in the game. As campaign lead for Football v Transphobia, I look back on the ban on women players 100 years ago, and it feels just as antiquated as I hope restrictions on trans people competing will one day appear. I'm delighted to see a woman and a footballer like Lily Parr be chosen as a hero for LGBT History Month, because I think she is and will continue to be a huge inspiration to generations of girls.
In our collection at the National Football Museum, in addition to the statue of Lily Parr, we've got lots of objects that relate to her and the Dick Kerr ladies. Lily Parr's legacy lives on. Her colours are still worn by Knowsley St Helens girls, and they wear her close to their hearts. There's also many players who compete in her honour. For example, the London Lesbian Kickabouts, who in 2007, as part of LGBT+ History Month, started the Lily Parr tournament. At the National Football Museum, we absolutely adore showing objects that relate to Lily Parr. She's such an inspiration, not only to young girls and women and others that want to play football now, but to everybody who enjoys football. Her tenacity, her spirit, the fact that she continued to play football in spite of the restrictions by the Football Association, just say everything about what football means to people and why it's so important for people to play. She is one of the women that played in the 1920s, but she stands for all of the women that campaigned and fought to play football in her generation and since.